Let's say that you live in a house and the house is too small. And so you don't have enough room. You keep bumping up against things and you don't have enough places to put the things that you care about. And so you build a bigger house. And it's bigger, but the bathroom isn't great. And so you solved some of it by just getting a bigger space. But now you're in the bigger space. Now you think, oh, I forgot all about the kitchen. That'd be Esther. Oh, I forgot all about the kitchen. So what we're saying to you is, and it's for those of you who are still thinking in terms of manifesting the hard way, it feels like you want to get it right the first time. And we say, we want you to give that up because you're never going to get anything right the first time. You're just going to keep amending it and 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 amending it. This would be a little better. This would be 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 better. And what's interesting about your inner being is that your inner being is factoring everything in as you go. So the new, not notes, but it's a nice thought, the new notes and the new attractions. In other words, if you attract more than you can do and you're chill, your inner being will bring people to help you. But if you're reluctant about having anybody help you do anything because you think that your well-being and your righteousness and your worthiness all depend upon your hard work, so you don't let people in, then you'll match up with people that really will not soothe you. They will really not help you. So then when it gets all uncomfortable, then you'll think, well, I was better off doing it myself. Or I want to attract different people that are a better match. So once you get hold of that, then instead of railing against what you've got, you focus upon what you want. And when you focus upon what you want, then you're not the resistant one that is keeping the cooperative components from coming. For all of you, does that make sense to you? Did you hear it? So for all of you, this is something that we really want you to hear. The cooperative components that have been gathered for you really are cooperative components that you have vetted without even knowing that you have, just by the living of life. Your inner being does not make mistakes on what your inner being focuses on in your vortex. So when you do what you said you wanted to do, it's the thing that you care most of all. You want to align with your inner being. That's the only work that you've really got to do. Your life causes you to put the things in the vortex. You've been asking for them, sometimes without even knowing you're asking for them. When someone's rude, you ask for nicer. When someone's too loud, you ask for quieter. You're always asking, and life helps you to clarify what you want. So you've created this vibrational reality. We named it the vortex because we wanted you to accept its realness. So you've created this vibrational reality that your inner being is all over. Your inner being and all of those that hang around with your inner being, and there are a lot of us. A whole lot of inner beings are in cooperation with one another. The cooperation of your vortices is unimaginable from a human standpoint. You just cannot get your thoughts around it. And we know it's a lot to ask when we say you're vibrational beings. But when you start looking at yourself as vibration and you allow yourself to think about vibration and about tuning rather than lifting and lugging and that sort of thing, then you begin to understand that the universe and the law of attraction, with the focus of your inner being, can gather up the perfect combination of whatever you want. Not so that you will have struggle, and then a result of ease, but so that you will have fun and ease and clarity and unfolding all along the way. Esther's dear friend, when they were walking the other day, just made a comment off the top of his head. I'm trying to get my employees in my office to close the loop with me on things. And Esther had a vague understanding of what that meant, but she said, tell me more. Well, sometimes we agree that somebody will do something or whatever, and they do it, but they don't tell me, so I'm always wondering. Or they forget about it, and they don't do it, so it doesn't get done. So he said, I'm asking them to close the loop. And Esther said, ooh, I really, really like that. When she gets hold of something new and juicy, something to chew on, she thought about it a lot. And she thought, I could do a better job. Esther could do a better job of closing loops because I ask for people to do things for me and then I don't let them know either. And so Esther thought, I'm going to close loops and let them know. And I'm going to ask my gang to close loops and let me know. And then the more she thought about it, she thought, manifestations are sort of like loops closing. It's like, I've wanted this and now I've got it. Wanted that and now I've got it. It's like a loop closing. And so she chewed on that for a little while, and we agreed with her That is a way to think of a loop closing. This is not about closing loops. This is about you understanding that every moment of every day you're opening another loop, and another and another and another. And we want you to make peace like your inner being has made peace with your open loop. Because your open loop, your open loop, your open loop, your open loop, your point of attraction, that's your life. All these open loops, all these things that are like those airplanes, they're not landed yet, but they're coming on in. They're not landed yet, but they're coming on in. All these things that are coming to you. And if you're not enjoying the sensation of the wonder and the sensation of the idea and the sensation of the magical rendezvous with someone who gives you a piece of information and the sensation of noticing something in a place where you've been many times and you've never seen it before, and there it's always been there, and now you're looking right at it. When you start connecting those dots, you start realizing all this non-physical help that you have, and you stop trying to carry it all on your shoulders. That's what makes you think you need a respite, because you're trying to do with action what you really want to do with focus. You have an inner being who knows everything you care about and is on your side, agreeing and gathering. And the heavy lifting is done by that. One who's connected to this stream of well-being is more powerful than millions who are not. This is the energy that creates worlds that is flowing through your focus. This is the energy that creates worlds that your inner being is focused physically on your behalf. Energy that creates worlds is being focused on your behalf to create the exact precise world that your life has caused you to ask for. Did you hear that? The energy that creates worlds is focused specifically on your behalf to the very specificity of what you've been asking for, even if you weren't using words. Even when you know what you don't want, the specificity of what you do want is known by your inner being and is set into motion. So what this means is there isn't anything that you cannot be or do or have. But that's not the point. Gathering up a bunch of stuff to have is not the point, unless having it enhances your experience. Being and doing and having is all about the pleasure of that always open loop. Asking for more and asking for more and asking for more and asking for more. And yeah, we want you to manifest things. We do. You're in your bodies. That's a manifestation. That's a big time manifestation that you set into motion before you came into this body. And you knew everything about it. You knew you'd be little and nobody would listen to you. And you knew that you'd be happy. You knew you'd be awkward. You knew that you wouldn't be able to walk right away. You knew you'd want to walk, but you knew you wouldn't be able to. And you said, all right, I'll just lay around. Maybe people will carry me around and I'll crawl around. In other words, you knew what the deal was. You knew that you were going to be continually evolving into more and more and more. And now most of you are walking around pretty good, and most of you are upright pretty good, and most of you are in what you want to call your adult phase, but you are still in the place of becoming. It's still a vibrational becoming. It's a mental becoming. It's an identifying becoming. It's a looking around the world and defining what you want from this world becoming. From our point of view, the reason that we want to play with you is because we want you to know that what life is showing you that you want, you can get. And that all of us will help you get it. But you've got to stop being bent out of shape that you don't have it yet, that you don't have it yet, that you don't have it yet, that you don't have it yet. And start savoring the parts of it that you are getting. And now back to the open loop thing. Best part about manifestation is the thoughts turning to things, the thoughts turning to things, the thoughts turning to things, and the thoughts turning to things, and you being in on the thought that's turning the thoughts, that's turning the thoughts, that's turning the thoughts, that's turning, so that you recognize the new thought, you recognize the rendezvous, you recognize the conversation, you recognize the feeling, you recognize this, you recognize this, so that you are all ready for the manifestation of it. Because when it manifests, that's fast. That goes fast. When Esther gets a new car, she's happy for about a week. That's about how much thrill she gets out of that. She just got one and she's looking for another one. Please tell her if you have an opportunity, that might not be the answer to life. We're just teasing, she knows it, but you get the point of what we're talking about, yes?